he'll throw it if he wants anything.
So,
Good idea. But there's no one over on my end.
Okay.
Come by me.
okay.
And and I hit the little square.
Just
To
keep
re-
recording.
Oh, you're recording. Okay.
So, in the United States, military service is not required. It's a total volunteer force. But there are some, including me, who think it should be a requirement. Either some sort of military service or civil service, whether it be on a federal level or perhaps on a state or local level. Now, according to a report this year published by World Population Review, there are 26 countries that actually require their citizens to serve some sort of term in the military. For instance, Brazil only requires 1 year. However, North Korea has a term of 10 years. They require their citizens to serve 10 years. I don't think we should go that far, but I'll get to that shortly. Some other countries that do it are Russia, Guatemala in Central America. Israel does it. They're one of our close allies, and I'll explain some of theirs in a minute as well. And believe it or not, half the countries in Africa actually require military service of some sort. Okay, so why do I believe that we should have military service requirements in the United States? Well, one is it's a transition for kids coming out of high school. So a lot of times, kid comes out of high school, they either go to college or they start working. This is a way for them to transition from being a child to being an adult. And they learn a lot of life skills. They can learn responsibility, they can learn teamwork. According to a quote from a professor, Paula Fass, from UC Berkeley, a quote from her was that young members of the military, when they serve in the military, end up with a sense of maturity. So they feel like they're growing up like they belong to something greater than themselves. Okay. It's also great because not only does it create a sense of unity, like pride in your country, or like Texas, pride in Texas. So if you serve like in the Texas National Guard or something like that, you have a lot of pride being in Texas, being from Texas. So it creates that unity, it creates that pride in oneself. It breaks down barriers, okay? Men and women work side by side in the military, so that gender barrier gets broken down. When I was in the Marine Corps, it was one color. Everybody was one color, and that color was green. Didn't matter if you were a man, a woman, if your skin color was white, black, if you were Hispanic, if you were from the Middle East, didn't matter. Everybody was green. So ethnic backgrounds is another one. If I'm a Christian, someone else might be a Muslim, another person might be Catholic. They might have grown up in an environment in their home where they grew up as Italians, whereas I grew up strictly as an American. Okay, so there's that ethnic background that can expand your mind and really teach you different things. How many people that grow up in Texas their whole lives see snow? Not very many. Well, let's say you end up getting stationed in Vermont. You're going to see snow if you're there in the winter, right? So it could take you to different places and you can experience new things. Now, there should be some restrictions. I believe there should be restrictions, and some of those restrictions would be something like if you're a violent felon, if you're somebody that's been convicted of a violent crime, perhaps giving you a weapon and sending you off to somewhere might be, not the best idea. So we want to have some restrictions, but we've also got those people that think some people should be exempted. So, for instance, Israel, if you're an Orthodox Jew in Israel, you are exempted from military service. And the ultra-Orthodox religion has their own institutes of higher learning, colleges. Anybody that attends those colleges is also exempted from military service. Obviously, if you can't serve in the military but you still want to serve, there's other avenues. Conservation Corps type things, working with your local and state government type things. So anything like that could be a civil service, and it can train you and teach you to become a better person and grow into a better adult. So these are just some of the things I think are important in having a somewhat mandatory, not completely mandatory, but mandatory service either in the military or in civil service.